Good morning. Welcome to Math and Tech YouTube channel. Today we discuss about maximum minimum theorem for continuous functions. In the last class we discussed about boundedness theorem for continuous functions. The proof is similar to the previous theorem proof. So first we define absolute maximum and absolute minimum. Let A subset of R and f be a function from A to R. Let A subset R and f be a function from A to R. We say that f has an absolute maximum on A, on the set A, if there exists x star belongs to A such that the value f of x star greater than or equal to f of x for all x element A. It means at the point x star f has the maximum value. All other points in A value f of x is less than or equal to f of x star. F of x star, suppose we draw the graph like this. This is the point so not the point x star here, that height is the maximum height. That height equal to f of x star. And all other points x height, this height on f of x. So all these values height clearly less than this value f of x star. So we say that f has an absolute maximum on A if there exists a point x star in A such that f at x star is greater than or equal to f of x for all x in A. So we check the values f of x for all x in A. The values f of x has a maximum at the point x star. Similarly, we can define absolute minimum. Simply interchange this greater than or equal to by less than or equal to. So what is the definition? We say that f has an absolute minimum on A if there exists a point, say x star subscript x star element A. Such that f at x star is the least value, that is less than or equal to f of x for all x in the set A. Here we check the values f of x. Take the elements x element A and find the values f of x, then the minimum value is f of x star. So we say that f has an absolute minimum on A if there exists x star element A such that f at x star less than or equal to f of x for all x element A. So note these definitions. F at x star is the minimum value. Here f at x star is the maximum value. So absolute maximum on the set A. So note the definition. Absolute. The f has an absolute maximum on the set A. We can find an element x star belongs to A. This x star belongs to A. So that f of x star is the maximum value. All other values f of x is either equal to f of x star or less than f of x star. So note the condition. F has an absolute maximum on A if there exists x star element A. Note this condition carefully. X star element A. So that f of x star is the maximum value. Similarly, we say that f has an absolute minimum on the interval A. F is a function from A to R. So absolute minimum on A if there exists x star, this star subscript in A such that f at x star is the minimum value. Here f at x star is minimum because absolute minimum. Here f at x star maximum. So absolute maximum on A means f at x star is the maximum value. Absolute minimum on A means f at x star is the minimum value. Both points x star in A, here x star in A. The points x star is called absolute maximum point for the function f on A, and this x star is called absolute minimum point for the function f on A. This x star absolute maximum point, this is called absolute minimum point for the function f on A. Our next result is the maximum minimum theorem. So note the statement. Let I equal to closed interval AB be a closed bounded interval and f from I to R be continuous on I. Then f has an absolute maximum and an absolute minimum on I. So note the statement. I equal to closed interval AB be a closed bounded interval and f from I to R be continuous on I. In the maximum minimum theorem and boundedness theorem, conditions are same. I equal to closed and bounded interval and f be continuous on I. So our previous theorem is what? Boundedness theorem. We prove that f is bounded on I. Now we prove that f has an absolute maximum and an absolute minimum on I. At some points on I, f has absolute maximum. At some other points on I, f has absolute minimum. Now the proof is similar to boundedness theorem. Let I be a closed bounded interval and f from I to R be a continuous function on I. Then by boundedness theorem, the previous theorem, boundedness theorem implies that f is bounded. F is bounded means what? The values f of x is bounded. F of x for all x element I. That set is denoted by f of I. Then this set is bounded. So by boundedness theorem, the set f of I is bounded. Again, supremum and infimum. A set is bounded above has a supreme value and bounded below implies it has an infimum value. F of I is bounded. So it has both supremum and infimum. So let S star be the supremum value of f of I and S star subscript be the infimum value of f of I. Because f of I is bounded, it is bounded above and bounded below. So it has both supremum and infimum. And we denote S star is the supremum value and S star is the infimum value. Now we show that find an element x star. F at x star equal to s star and another x star subscript x star f at x star equal to s star. So note the definition of supremum. S star is the supremum means it is the least upper bound. So no number less than s star is an upper bound. So s star minus 1 by n is a number less than s star. So it is not an upper bound. It is not an upper bound means we can find a number in the set f of I. In the set f of I means f of x model. So f of xn. So here xn element I. So we can find xn element I such that s star minus 1 by n less than f of xn less than or equal to s star for all n element n. Mark this equation 1. So note all these points. First bounded, the interval I is closed and bounded and I be a continuous function on I, which implies boundedness theorem. By boundedness theorem, the function f is bounded. F is bounded means f values bounded. That f values f of x for all x element I is denoted by the set f of I. Then the set f of I is bounded. But bounded means bounded above and bounded below. Bounded above means it has a supremum value. Bounded below implies it has an infimum value. And we take s star is the supremum of f of I and s star equal to infimum of f of I. Again supreme property. S star is the supreme property means it is the least upper bound. It is the least upper bound implies s star minus 1 by n is not an upper bound for any n. It is not an upper bound means we can find an element in the set f of I. F of x element I model. So take xn element I f of xn. So we can find xn element I and f of xn in the set f of I. Interval I is bounded. This interval is bounded. And xn element I. I is bounded and xn element I implies that sequence xn is bounded. The interval I is bounded and xn element I. We choose xn element I. Therefore, sequence xn is bounded. Now, by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, bounded sequence as a convergent subsequence. So, by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, we can find a subsequence that is convergent. Bounded sequence as a convergent subsequence. So, a subsequence xnr that is converges to x star. By Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, bounded sequence as a convergent subsequence. So, the subsequence xnr converges to x star. The interval I is closed. This x star element I. The same steps in the previous boundedness theorem. There we take the x, here we change x star. So, subsequence xnr converges to x star and the interval I is closed implies x star belongs to I. The function f is continuous at x star. Because f is continuous on I, x star element I. So, f is continuous at x star implies by sequential criteria xnr converges to x star, we get f of xnr converges to f of x star by sequential criteria. What is sequential criteria? Function continuous at x star and sequence xnr converges to x star, then the image sequence f of xnr converges to f of x star. Now, from equation 1, what is equation 1? S star minus 1 by n less than f of xn less than or equal to s star for all n element here. Replace xn equal to xnr. That is, we get s star minus 1 by nr less than f of xnr less than or equal to s star for all r element n. Now, by Squeeze theorem, the left hand side, this s star minus 1 by nr converges to s star and the right side converges to s star. Then clearly the middle f of xnr converges to s star. So, by Squeeze theorem, f of xnr, that sequence converges to s star by Squeeze theorem. So, by Squeeze theorem, f of xnr sequence f of xnr converges to s star. Because the left part converges to s star, the right converges to s star, so the middle converges to s star. That is Squeeze theorem. So, what we proved? f of x nr converges to s star. But here f of x nr converges to f of x star. So we get f of x star equal to s star. Here f of x nr converges to f at x star. Here f of x nr converges to s star. So we get f at x star equal to s star. F at x star equal to s star, and s star equal to what? Supremum of f of I. So what we proved? The function f has the supremum value at x star. So this x star is the absolute maximum point. F at x star equal to supremum. That means f values at the point x star is the maximum value or absolute maximum value. So we proved f has an absolute maximum value at the point x star. So note this point, x star belongs to I. X star belongs to I in this set. X star belongs to I and f at x star equal to supremum of the set f. Therefore, we conclude that the function f has an absolute maximum at the point x star. So note the proof. Boundedness theorem implies the interval f of I, that is the set f of x element I is bounded. F of I is bounded, it has supremum value and infimum value, say s star superscript equal to supremum and s star here subscript equal to infimum value of the set f of I. Now supremum value s star is the supremum. The number s star minus 1 by n is less than s star. So it is not an upper bound. It is not an upper bound. We can find an element in this set. Say xn element I, f of xn. So we can find the xn element I such that s star minus 1 by n less than f of xn less than or equal to s star for all n element n. So it is not an upper bound. S star is the least upper bound. S star minus 1 by n is not an upper bound. So we can find between these two an element of the set. Element of the set means f of x model. We take xn element I. So the element is f of xn. That is supremum property. Now the interval I is bounded and xn element I implies sequence xn is bounded. Now Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, it has a convergent subsequence. So the subsequence xnr converges to x star. F is continuous at x star because f is continuous on I. This x star, we can prove this x star belongs to I since I is closed. I is closed. The interval I is closed implies x star element I. So f is continuous at x star and the sequence xnr converges to x star. So by sequential criteria, f of xnr converges to f of x star. That is sequential criteria. Again from this, s star minus 1 by nr less than f of xnr less than or equal to s star for all r element n. Now by Squeeze theorem, this left hand side s star minus 1 by nr converges to s star, right hand side converges to s star. So the middle term sequence f of x n r converges to s star. But f of x n r converges to s star and f of x n r converges to x star. So we get s star equal to f of x star. And what is S star? Supremum of the set f of I. Hence we conclude that f has an absolute maximum at the point x star. The function f has an absolute maximum at the point x star. Similarly, we can prove that this s star equal to infimum f of I equal to f of some x star, which means f has an infimum value or absolute minimum value at the point x star. F has an absolute minimum value. F equal to infimum. Infimum f means minimum value. So f has absolute minimum value at x star. So we proved f has absolute maximum value at x star and absolute minimum value at this x star. Hence the function f has an absolute maximum value on I and an absolute minimum value on I. Okay, thank you.